Okay, so in this segment, I'll cover a couple text editors. And this is very beneficial to understand so you can make changes within the Linux operating system. And I'm talking about like configuration files for various applications within the operating system that you'll occasionally have to do. Like when you install certain applications, for example, an Apache server, then there are configuration files that you have to modify in order to get Apache up and running the proper way. And so it's very beneficial to understand how to use a text editor. So I'm going to show you two of the major ones that I recommend you guys start learning in order to get proficient with editing within the terminal. Because if we look around the desktop, we can easily look around the desktop and there is what they call a text, like I forget it's called text editor. Yeah. And most Linux distributions, if it has a desktop environment, it'll come with a text editor. It could be like mousepad or something like that. And you can easily make changes in here, but it's better to understand how to use it from the command line. So I wanted to cover it right fast. So you guys can get a better understanding of it. So first one I wanted to show you guys is Nano. And Nano is the easiest and simplest one to actually use. So let me go down and show you guys how to get started using Nano. And the first thing I want to do is open up the man page for it so you guys can at least see the information about the actual program. And if we check it out, you know what I'm saying, the manual has a lot of good information that can help you understand how to actually use it. Now let's go down and find a file in order for us to edit. So let's go CD, and I know under documents and Ansible, and then I think it's I think we have let's see, a couple files in here we can edit. So lamp, simple, let's go into there and press enter. And then let's ls this directory right fast. And there are, let's try that host file right fast. So actually let's cat it out right fast because I want to see how long it is, which it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be too long. Yeah, that's a good enough file size. So let's edit that file. So let me clear right fast. And the easiest way to use Nano is just simply type in Nano and then the actual file name, which was host, and press enter. There we go. So let's just go down to the bottom. I just kind of want to show you guys you could just easily edit this thing simply like this. So let's type Ubuntu, and then let's just type 20.04 LTS. But that's simply how you use the text editor. Now let's cover some of the menu options. Now let's say you needed help while you're actually using this. You could just, with the up arrow right there on each one of these, that's basically the control button. So control G. So let's hit control G and that'll open up our help. So as you can see, that's the help right there. You can go through it, you know what I'm saying? It kind of explains a little more and explains those commands down at the bottom. Now we can just press Q and that'll get us back to the actual file itself. But just to cover some more of these options, you got exit right below it. You got control O, which is writing out the changes. So let's, like for instance, let's use that now. We made changes by adding this Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. So we can do control O and that'll write out our changes to that file name. It's basically going to ask us, are we sure we want to write it to that file and that name? Or we could change the format, or we could change the file name if we wanted to like make a copy of it. But let's save it as that file. So that's cool. It says wrote 9 lines, and it basically overwrote that file. And then we have read. So that's control or control W is where is, and that's beneficial if you're, let's say, looking for something in a big long file or a configuration file. That's basically your search. And then the control backslash, that's actually a find replace. Then you got control K. So let's say we want to cut this whole line. All you gotta do is be at the front of the line and hit control K, and that'll cut that actual line. Now let's say we want to paste whatever we just cut. We can just do control U, and that'll paste whatever you had there or whatever you recently cut. So super cool that that's actually there. Cut paste. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your Control J for justified, Control T to spell, and then Control C cursor precision, and then Control underscore go to specific line. And one thing that's beneficial for, let's say you're a programmer or something, a lot of times when you're programming an application or a script or something, it'll throw an error and it'll tell you what line the error is on. So it's beneficial to use that if you're looking for a specific line within the file that was thrown from the error while you was building whatever script or application that you was working on. Especially if the file has like 1,000 or something lines, within it. It's very beneficial. Now that's pretty much the high level overview of the Nano text editor. So let's go down and exit out of it. And just to show you how to exit it, you could just hit Control and then X, and then we did make some more changes to it. So it's basically asking you if you want to save those changes. So all we have to do is type Y for yes, and then it's going to ask us if we want to write it on to that same file name. Press enter, and that'll actually save out that file, and we can cat it out right fast by typing cat host, press enter, and it'll cat out that file. We can see that those changes have been saved to that file. Now, the next text editor I want to show you guys is Vim. Now, Vim doesn't come on Ubuntu by default. You have to install it. So all you have to do is type sudo apt install Vim, and that will install it on your operating system. And let's go on and run it again. Even though I already have it installed on here, I just want to run it so you guys can follow along and see how to install the Vim text editor. But Vim is based on VI or V. I believe VI came first, and then Vim it's just basically VI on steroids. It has a lot of features. You can set key bindings and all kind of stuff using the Vim text editor. And a lot of people rant and rave how great Vim is. But I'm one of these people that like to, I don't know, just get things done. It doesn't matter how it gets done. So a lot of times I'll use Nano, but I do understand how to use Vim, and I see the power in using Vim. So shout out to all you Vim users out there. I definitely like the program. But let's go down and give you a simple usage of the Vim application. And let's clear right fast. And let's go down and open up a file using Vim. So I'm gonna just open up this readme.md file. There we go. And as you can see, the navigation is pretty much the same as Nano, but the problem or the thing that kind of messes people up when they're first learning, you have to use commands in order to do certain things. Like, for instance, you can't just type right now into the actual program, you know what I'm saying, into the text file. You have to put it in what they call insert mode. And the way you get in the insert mode is just simply by typing I, and then you'll see down at the bottom insert mode. So let's go down and add some changes to here. So let's type Ubuntu 20.04 and then LTS. Boom. So in order to get out of insert mode, all we need to do is just hit exit, and that will take us out of insert mode, and we can go back to just navigating the file or whatever. But now this is basically stored in memory. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you open up an application, you make changes to something, it's kind of stored in memory. It hasn't been written out to the actual file. And that's similar to the Nano text editor as well. Whenever you make changes to the file, it's basically changed in memory. And then until you actually quit the application or save the actual changes, then it's actually just in memory. And there are commands in order to save things in Vim, and so I wanted to show you guys some of them right fast. So in order to, let's say we want to write out those changes that we made, in order to do that, all you have to do is hit the escape button and then type colon and then W, and that'll write out the actual changes. So let's press enter, and as you can see, we made those changes. It tells you at the bottom right there, written out. So those changes we made or in the actual file. Now let's verify that we actually saved those changes by let me showing you guys how to quit it. So all you have to do is type colon and then Q and press enter, and I'll actually quit the file. And then let's just cat out that file right fast to readme That way we can see that those changes are there. And if we look right here, you'll see the Ubuntu 20.04 that we made changes to, the file. Those changes were saved. So let's go down, open it up again in Vim. And let's say we want to make those changes or change. Let's say we want to remove that LTS off the end of it. So let's go insert mode, and then we could delete that text out of there. Now let me show you how to actually quit it. Instead of just writing the changes out, let me show you how to quit it and save it at the same exact time. So all we have to do is type escape, and that'll get us out of insert mode. And then we just type colon and then write and Q. So W and Q, and that'll write changes and then quit the actual file. So let's press enter, and we can cat it out again just so you guys can see. But if you look up here, the LTS is gone. So that's basically how you make changes to the actual file. You just go into insert mode, and then you can write out those changes, or you can quit and save those changes. And then let's go back into it right fast, and I just want to show you guys how to quit it without making changes. And simply you can go back into insert mode right there, and let's say we want to type LTS, and then let's say this is a very long file and we start going through it and we don't remember what all the changes or the changes that we made within this file. So let's say we don't want to save any changes that we actually made to this file. So all we have to do is type colon, or actually get out of insert mode first, then hit then hit colon and Q, and then bang, or the exclamation point, and press enter, and I'll actually exit out without saving those changes. And we can cat it out again just to make sure, but the changes that we did make, they weren't saved to the actual file. So good to go. Now, like I said, I just wanted to give you guys the basics. I could go like very deep into this actual command or into this actual text editor, as well as Nano. I mean, Nano is, awesome as well. It's pretty basic, but Vim, you can go super far with it. But most people had issues with saving and exiting the actual program. There is a meme that goes around a lot of times with a joke on it, basically saying, how do I exit Vim? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of funny or whatever. But hopefully this guys get you started with working with text files within the terminal using a text editor. So see you in the next segment.